Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Eva, and today we are going to be talking all about the new RMS Beauty Legendary Serum lipsticks. Now, I picked up all 8 shades of this new lip product. I was very excited to get my hands on these. I have been wear testing them and I definitely have an opinion. So in today's video, we are going to do lip swatches of all 8 of the shades. I will also do arm swatches, talk about the formula, as well as my experience. So if that sounds of interest to you, go ahead and keep on watching. And if you are not already, I would really appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. Let's start off, as I often do, by reading the claims and description of the product. I'm actually going to be reading from the little box that the lip product comes in, and it says, "One click, one swipe legend. This first of its kind lipstick and lip stain serum creates fully saturated, long-lasting coverage with just one swipe. Super lightweight yet deeply pigmented. This non-drying water-based formula hydrates, smooths, and revitalizes lips with a velvety satin finish. Minimum effort, lasting impact." And for application, the recommendation is twist bottom of the unique component just once until it clicks, then gently glide across the lips. Use the tube's edge as a guide for flawless application. Can be worn alone or with a lip liner. For a more subtle look, use fingers to gently tap color onto lips. Okay, that was a mouthful. Thanks for bearing with me. So I have been testing this product out for a little over a week now, so I can give you a really good, I would say, like, description of the formula and let you know, is this actually unique? Does it actually feel like a serum, and does it actually stain your lips? Let's start off though by going over the packaging, as I often do. So something I immediately love about the packaging is that the component itself matches the shades of the actual product. As someone who owns hundreds of lip products, this is really important for me. I love being able to see what the product color is without having to memorize the shade name. So immediately I love that. I also really love that it is soft matte to the touch, so it won't get super dirty in your handbag. For the bullet size, this is the size. It is a slim, I would say it's more of like a medium size lipstick bullet. Then to get the product up in the tube, you just turn here until you hear a click. I don't want to do that because it is one of those formulas where once you turn it up, you can't turn it back down, but that is how you do it. You just follow the little arrows until it clicks up. Also want to mention that I do have a code with RMS Beauty. This video is not sponsored. I did purchase these all on my own, but if you do decide to pick them up, I do have a code that saves you 20%. It is Dear Eva Hansen 20. And then I also have a referral link that I will leave down below. This referral link works for first-time customers, and you get $20 off your purchase of $60 or more. So you can do the math and figure out which one makes the most sense. If you do decide to use my code, I do get commission in exchange, so I do really appreciate you considering using that. Now let's talk a little bit about the formula and the claims. I have been testing these, as I mentioned, and all of the claims are 100% accurate. These are a one swipe product, as you'll see during the application process. They also leave behind a really beautiful stain. I actually like the stain almost better than the way the lipstick looks when you first apply it. It looks nice, but I think the stain is what's just so impressive about this formula. On me, the stain lasted around 4 hours, and that was after eating pizza, drinking, not being careful or trying to preserve my lip color at all. The formula is also very hydrating. It was very comfortable on the lips, even though it dries down after a while and forms that stain. Never once did I feel the need to apply a gloss or a lip oil or anything over the top of it, as I sometimes feel the need to do for other lip stains. Now let's get into the actual lip swatches. I am going to apply each of these on my lips so you can see what they look like on someone with a fair complexion, and then we will also get into some arm swatches and talk about dry down time. Let's go in with the first swatch. I have to be careful. I have the arm swatches on my arm and I'm very worried I'm going to get them on my white shirt. The first shade we're going to go in with is Miranda. Something about this formula that is also interesting is it feels very cool on your lips. I don't know why. There clearly is some sort of ingredient, but when you do that one swipe, it is like a cooling sensation, which is interesting. Okay, so we are gonna go in. I guess I did 2 swipes here. That is roughly 1.5 swipes. Now, what I like to do with this formula, it is a thinner consistency. So what I like to do is I like to take my finger and just blur it out a little bit. And you do have time to work with the product before it dries down. I also prefer to wear these with a lip liner because it is a product that I'm blurring out with my fingers. It's nice to have more definition with a liner, but you definitely don't have to. And here is Miranda with 1.5-ish swipes blurred out on my lips. Now for like the transfer proof test. I'm going to kiss my hand, which sounds weird. You can see there is transfer after immediate application. But if we were to wait around 10 minutes, I think that's around the timeline I waited yesterday, there will be little to no transfer. So this product does take around 10 minutes to dry down to get to that no transfer point. Now you can also build up this product as well, which is one of the things I really like about this formula is it is really flexible. So if we wanted more saturation, we can apply another coat. So I'm going back in with Miranda and building up more of that color. My preference with this formula is to do that thinner coat and blur it out. I find it's more flattering on my lips. When I apply that second coat, it doesn't emphasize my lip lines by any means, but they are definitely more noticeable than when I just do that one coat blurred out. So here is Miranda again, and this time it is 2 coats on my lips. Now I'm going to remove this from my lips hopefully before it dries down, so we can move on to the next color. Okay, I really scrubbed those lips to make sure that stain was completely removed. Now let's go in with another lighter shade. I'm trying to do like lightest to darkest. And this is Ruby Moon, which is that very pretty bright orange red, definitely a spring summer color. And let's go in with 1 swipe. The formula on this particular shade is a little bit stiffer. Okay, because the formula on this shade is a little bit stiffer, I don't know if it's just my particular Ruby Moon or every Ruby Moon, I would recommend definitely using a lip liner for this one because it was messier to blur with my finger and I definitely got outside the lip lines. Here is Ruby Moon cleaned up a little bit with a tissue, and that was only like 1.5 swipes. So you can tell it's very pigmented. I also want to show you just how much these stain. So when I kissed my hand for that first shade, I wiped off my hand and there still is a little bit of an imprint here from the product. So these definitely do stain the lips and also the hands. For the rest of these, I'm going to just put the swatches on my lips and then insert the clips. Next up, we have the shade Melanie. You have now seen all 8 shades on my lips. I'm also going to insert arm swatches right now for you to take a look at. We have Melanie, Miranda, Linda, Ruby Moon, Mickey, Angela, Monica, and Audrey. I'm also going to insert a clip. This is around like 20 minutes after the arm swatches were applied of me like running my finger along and trying to move the product so you can get an idea of kind of like how they dry down. All of them have been on my arm for 20 minutes except for that last shade Audrey because I forgot to swatch it and did the swatch much later. Let's talk about the shade, formula, and then final thoughts. As you can tell from the arm swatch where I like ran my finger on it, the products don't fully dry down. The way I would describe this formula is that they wear off beautifully so that you're left with a really nice lip stain. So it's not like the original product you apply isn't going to budge at all. It more so like wears off really gracefully and then you're left with a really nice stain. Like for example, I have a shade that I applied maybe 5 minutes ago. I'm going to take a paper towel and I'm going to do a bunch of blotting. You can see a bunch of product is coming off on that paper towel. And now we're just left with a really beautiful stain that is still very noticeable. So that's the difference between these and a normal lipstick. A normal lipstick, once I've blotted that many times to the point where barely any product is coming off, the color is typically gone. But with here, you are left with a very noticeable, very beautiful stain. As far as colors go, like shade wise, I really like some of those deeper colors for fall. One thing I will note though is I did notice with Mickey and Angela that the pigmentation wasn't as consistent throughout. I did find that when I applied them to my lips and then blurred them out with my finger, it looked a little bit patchy in certain parts. Not to the point where like I won't wear them and I won't return to these colors, but I did want to note that. I'm not sure if it's because of the color or maybe because I felt like I had to blend more with my fingers. I'm not quite sure, but for these shades, I definitely, when I wear them again, will be wearing them with a lip liner so I don't have to like blur them with my finger as much. Talking about favorite shades, I would say Mickey is one of my favorite shades, despite having that little bit of like pigmentation inconsistency. I just think it's such a beautiful shade for fall. Audrey is also very beautiful. It is the one I am wearing as a stain right now. And then I also really liked that Ruby Moon shade. It's not going to be a color I'm going to wear very much in the fall or winter, but definitely spring, summer. Honestly, all the shades are really beautiful. There isn't one from the bunch that I didn't like or I found unflattering on my skin tone. The one note I would give about the product, like if I could change anything, it would be the size of the lipstick bullet. I would prefer if this were much thinner and were the size of the Hourglass like Vanish lipsticks where they're, I want to say around half the size of this. I think that would make for a much better application process because you would be able to be way more precise, and because this is a stain, it does require more precision than just a casual lipstick because even when you're cleaning up with a Q-tip, it does leave behind a stain. So that is the one thing I would change, but other than that, I think this is an amazing launch. I've been so impressed with RMS lately between these and then their blushes and their recent highlighter. I feel like they're definitely on their A game and I'm glad they did not disappoint. These are products I'm going to be returning to and I highly recommend checking a couple shades out. Again, I will leave my code down below as well as my referral link if you decide to pick those up. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope this video was helpful. Let me know in the comments below if there are any shade comparisons you want me to post. I can always post those as a short or on the community channel as a swatch photo. Thanks so much and I will catch you in my next video.